Well, it is another beautiful week here in Montana, and today on Seedling Sunday we're going to be talking about the few things that I've been able to harvest so far, how everything else is growing, and we're going to take a deeper look into the greenhouse and what I have going on in there. I also wanted to do a little segment with you guys about the medicinal plants and herbs that I have growing and that I forage for, so make sure to check all that out on today's episode of Seedling Sunday. It looks like I have a couple of strawberries that are ready to be picked. Let's go ahead, open up. Just a bit of mesh here. Soft. This is an alpine strawberry. Comparison. This is a wild strawberry versus an alpine strawberry. Really excited because more of the strawberries are ready to be picked. Oh. Just snuck that right out of my hand. They look really good, and we even have a couple of alpine strawberries that are ready. And these are those white ones. They stay white, they do not turn red. This little guy, still pretty firm, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave him. Today we're gonna be planting a couple pepper plants. This is gonna be a sweet gypsy, and it already has a couple buds on it, so let's get it in the pot. Looks like it has some really good roots on it, which is exciting. Hopefully as soon as it's in the pot, it is going to grow like crazy. There we go. Go ahead and water it really good. Now we're going to be planting up this sweet banana pepper, and it has quite a few peppers on it already, some big guys that are almost ready for harvesting, and some littler guys up here, as well as some blooms, and it's going to be blooming again, so it's going to have lots of peppers on it, and we're going to go ahead and pot it up here. Peppers do really good in the greenhouse because of how hot it gets and the amount of humidity, so I'm hoping that this year I get tons of peppers off of this guy and the sweet gypsy. The roots look really good on this guy as well. Go ahead and get him stuck down in there. There we go, and make sure to water all of your plants after you plant them. I know I'm pretty I don't know if you'll be able to hear the buzzing of the bees, but this wild rose bush here is blooming like crazy, and the bees absolutely love it. These little flowers smell so good, and come fall, I'll be able to harvest a bunch of rose hips off of it, which I'm really excited about. So right now it's about 11:15, and in the greenhouse we are already at 100 degrees in here. It is freaking hot today, and I have so much to get done. I'm going to be absolutely dead in a couple of hours. As I was walking along the bridge, I looked down here and I noticed that this is all wild mint growing. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest a little bit of it and see what we can make with it. So one of the reasons that I let things kind of get overgrown like this is because it actually hides strawberry and medicinal plants. Down in here, you can definitely see at least one, but there are multiple good-sized strawberries down here that are ready to be picked. These are beautiful, and they're hidden a little bit. Unfortunately, something did find that one, so I'm gonna leave it. But that's why I let things kind of get overgrown, because it does hide some of the little strawberry plants from other animals, and I get my little strawberries. So my goal for today, this patch looks like an absolute mess, and my goal is to get this cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a large amount of the grass, then I'm going to weed whack along here, and because the deer have come and are starting to eat off the tops of my raspberries, I'm going to put some netting over the top of this as well to try and keep them out. I was able to get this little area cleaned up, and all of these raspberries were actually laying down, growing across this way. And I'm gonna take some of these posts here, put them here, that way the raspberries can actually climb instead of crawling. I also have this raspberry patch here. These guys all were started from seeds from these guys and birds dropping seeds and berries. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the fencing that I used down here and try to do it along here to make a little bit more of a pathway. Okay. I don't really want to push the plants down, so I do want to make sure to pull them away when I push down on it. There we go. So the main reason that I'm doing this, because these guys are really starting to crawl forward. There we go. I think that that is going to be perfect. So I was able to get the raspberry patch cleaned up here. I have these fences in front of it to keep the deer out, as well as some netting over the top. Everything is looking really good, and we're starting to have some little raspberries that are forming. I also went ahead and added a fence up here to this raspberry bush. Overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. There's definitely a little bit more work to be done, but I'm really happy with how everything is looking currently. This is actually insane. I was getting ready to clean this aqua garden here because it's way overdue for a cleaning, and I had decided to stick some green onion starts in here just so that they would keep growing. Little did I imagine that this is what I was going to be left with. Actual onion starts in my garden, in my aqua garden. Those are onion bulbs. They are growing and pushing out the plastic cage that's around the roots, and I have no idea how I'm gonna deal with this. There was also a cucumber in here. I can pull that out, but I think I'm gonna have to cut the wire cage and just try to clean it the best I can with it in here, because there's no way I'm getting those out. They're not gonna fit through the top hole, and I don't really feel like losing this whole thing. I do use it while I cook. So keep in mind, if you decide to put some green onion starts in your aqua garden, that you are gonna end up with whole onions. I did not even think this through. This is utterly insane to me. There are full onion bulbs growing down here, and it's pushing the plastic cage. So I'm going to cut the cage. This is crazy. I'm gonna try to reach in here. Okay, got the bottom part of the cage out. Now what I think I'm gonna do is just quickly rinse. It's really hot today, and I don't want my phone to overheat, so you're just gonna sit at ground level today. The first thing that I'm gonna do today is pull some weeds. I have some thistles in my garden beds, and they need to go bye-bye. A lot of them are very deep, have deep root systems, that they will suck the nutrients and take them away from the plants that I'm actually trying to grow. So we have to go in. This one's a little tricky because it's right by a squash, and I don't want to disturb the squash roots. There we go. And I usually just kind of do this as needed. I'm definitely not as routine about it as I probably should be. And it looks like a couple of the squashes are actually going to bloom, which makes me very happy. Everything in this bed I grew from seed. At the end of this week, I was able to finally harvest my first pepper. This is a sweet banana pepper. Not only that, but I also have some tomatoes that are looking really good and getting ripe. I'm really excited that my garden is finally starting to produce and I can take a little bit of a deep breath and relax just a little. I also made a really exciting announcement over on my TikTok page. I am going to be selling my houseplants. So I went ahead and did a little bit of a mini photo shoot and took pictures of all of my mother plants that I have propagated to make little babies to sell to everybody. My plants are so beautiful in my eyes, and everybody on TikTok has really seemed to love them. So I hope you guys do as well. I really enjoyed making this week's Seedling Sunday video for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please drop a comment, like, and subscribe. I have tons of Seedling Sunday videos linked in the playlist down below, as well as tons of other plant content. And I will go ahead and see you on the next one.